Hey guys, MegamanNG here, and we are back with another Pokemon Generation 6 Wi-Fi battle. Today I face off against a familiar foe, or familiar friend, I apologize. We take on Oscar, aka PokeEmulation. The link's in the description, and don't forget to answer the question of the day, which I will be issuing at the end of the video. So without further ado, let's get started. He starts off with a Plusle, and it's a cute shiny too. I start off with my MegamanNG, and this is my UU team against his team. I go for the Fake Out as my traditional first strike, and he gets the flinch, which is pretty nice. And then I dish out the Drain Punch, and that's about it for Plusle, though I was told that maybe I think he was supposed to plan it to have a Focus Sash or something. Yeah, that has to be the case. Now, he sends in Latias, and yeah, this is where things really start getting good. He brings out Mega Latias, and I didn't really think I'd be seeing this in battle before. So I went for the U-turn because I just wanted to get out of there, because my guess is that in my mindset, he was going to go for a Stab Psychic. And if a Stab Psychic hit that MegamanNG, I'd be done for, and I wouldn't want that to happen. So I'm sending out my Chansey, and he does go for the Psychic as expected, and Chansey takes the abuse like a beast. However, he switches his Mega Latias for who knows what, and he sends out Scrafty. I wonder, last battle I had before, I had to deal with a Scrafty, and now I gotta deal with this one, except it's shiny. I went for the Toxic, and that ended up being a complete failure. So, I needed to make a switch, at least just to withstand some abuse, and he actually goes for the Drain Punch, and the Drain Punch did more than half, and I'm like, damn, that's a lot. So, I go for the Fake Out, and the Fake Out doesn't really do much. The good news is I do get a little bit of health thanks to Shell Bell. However, that's not enough. So I go for my Drain Punch, and my Drain Punch takes it out. I'm relieved for that. That was pretty good. Though I am surprised, since Scrafty is part Dark type, it was able to take it out easily. Though it made me wonder to myself if that Scrafty was meant to be really bulky so it can dish out more abuse. Meh, doesn't matter. Anyway, he sends back his Mega Latias. I go this time for a Stone Edge, and the Stone Edge doesn't do much. I do get a crit, but I don't think that's really going to make any difference because he goes for a Psychic attack, and my MegamanNG gets wiped, literally. And I'm like, ugh, this is bad. Mega Latias is a beast. Not a good sign all around. So I decided to just get in there and dish out pain myself. So I sent in Starmie. And he makes a switch. My guess he's predicting something. And oh no, he brings out a Weavile. Weaviles are deadly, and they're more likely known to exert their pressure. I went for the Ice Beam, and he actually made a pretty good prediction with that switch. The damage wasn't really much. But sadly, that thing is faster, so I'm not going to let it stay out much longer. I make a switch. I send in my Frost Rotom. And he goes for the Night Slash, and with its high attack power, he was able to survive it. My Rotom Frost, and he hits a crit. And sadly, my Rotom's just there to die since it takes another Night Slash and goes down. Needed something to survive if I am going to last in battle. I now send in my Arcanine. Like I always say, it is a Pokemon that has never let me down. Ever. It never does. And he makes a switch, and he sends in Gliscor, and I went instead for the Flare Blitz because if he stayed, the Flare Blitz would have killed Weavile. But sadly, he sent in Gliscor, and he made it really bulky. Though sadly, I suffer some major recoil damage, and that's when the poison kicked in. I'm thinking, this thing must be a poison heal. And my thoughts pretty much proved to be right, because he goes for the Protect just to scout out, and I went for another Flare Blitz, and it got blocked. So now he's going to basically stall for time, while I'm just going to waste my time doing an attack after attack. This is I believe, one of the big flaws that I have with Arcanine, since basically all he has is all physical, not to mention many of them have recoil damage. That could prove to be a very bad sign. He went for the Toxic himself, and it missed. And I'm relieved that it missed, because if it didn't, then I'd be running on borrowed time. I go now for the Crunch, and the Crunch takes down Gliscor, and I'm surprised it did, despite the fact that I suffer from Life Orb recoil. I'm not complaining per se, but yeah, you get what you got. So it now sends back Mega Latias. I decided this time to go for a Crunch, and I'm surprised that it was faster than Mega Latias. Though, I wondered to myself if the EVs would have been putting up in speed or anything. Yeah, doesn't matter, at least I did okay. But right now, Arcanine's not going to last much longer, and he now says in his Latios, and I'm thinking to myself, if that Mega Latias didn't appear, I wouldn't be surprised if it had a Latiosite. Yeah, I went for the crunch, and that just did more damage. But he instead goes for a Shadow Claw, and this one must be a physical Latios. He gets the crit, which is good, since Shadow Claw has a high chance of getting a crit. And he takes down my Arcanine. And now I send in my Roserade, another Pokemon that I basically train. I have another one planned, though I need to get like more shiny stones. I go for the Shadow Ball, and that takes down Latios. Wow, nice of you to take down a legendary, Roserade. You did well. So he now sends in his Weavile, and it's exerting its pressure like before. So it goes now for the Ice Punch, and the Ice Punch does a major load. It would normally die had it not been for the Focus Sash, and I'm happy that it did. And I go for the Sludge Bomb, and the Sludge Bomb did do damage, but he gets the Poison, and I don't think that's going to matter either way, since with the Poison, he's going to go down next turn. And that's about it for this battle. Weavile goes for an Ice Punch and takes down my Roserade, but it ends up taking Weavile down with it due to Poison damage. Thank you very much for the battle, Oscar. I really did enjoy it a lot. I am surprised to see Mega Latias here, though normally stuff like Latiasite and Latiosite we would never expect to see here on this battle. So, yeah, make sure you all check out his channel. He's the guy that also gave me some sweet title covers, like GFX. And if you want your own GFX, be sure to come by his channel. All you have to pay is $8, and that's it. And today's question of the day is, what would you like to see from Nintendo this year at E3? Since there are a lot of things that are going to be revealed in E3 this year, the only thing I'm hoping for is maybe like a new Star Fox game or a new Metroid game, because Metroid needs a lot of love. Or heck, how about a new F-Zero? I mean, there hasn't been a new F-Zero in years. I'm being serious with this. Anyway, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It does mean a lot to me, and I'll see you guys next time for another Gen 6 Wi-Fi battle. Peace.